Hey there. I have always said that Amazon is perhaps one of the best sources of launching an online brand, especially for early stage brands. The barrier to entry is low. The amount of traffic is tremendous, and Amazon has set up infrastructure in place like the FBA, in so as to make it very easy for customers to try out new brands. Also, Amazon is notorious for having customers who are not necessarily brand loyal and are pretty open to trying out other products as well, based on Amazon's algorithm. But having said that, because of the nature of the monopoly that Amazon has seems to have on the online market space, online market platforms, there have been certain aspects of it that have been publicly claimed or publicly said about selling on Amazon that are negative. So here are 5 reasons why I believe that selling on Amazon might not be a good idea, or some of the challenges that are faced, that I've faced personally and from the customers that I've worked with. One, one of the biggest challenges, again, probably a byproduct of being a monopoly, is that it has very, very high fees. And these fees include referral fees, FBA fees, storage fees that have been introduced recently, low inventory fees, refund fees, and so on. There are additional fees if you want to participate in deals, coupons, Prime Day, and so on. So it's a never ending stream of fees, which means that for every product that you sell, the margins that you hope to achieve keep dwindling. It keeps reducing, and it has come to a situation where having a 10 or a 20% margin on Amazon is considered to be a good sign given all the situations out there. While Amazon forces you, in a way, forces the sellers to keep reducing the price, despite the fact that cost of goods is increasing, despite the fact that their own fees are increasing, it becomes really, really challenging, especially for early stage brands, to not have a pressure on the cash flow situation with the increasing fees and reducing margins. It also happens that if you add on ad optimization or ad campaign fees, seller management fees, agency fees, coupons, and everything else, there have been situations where products have been sold at a loss, even in the hopes that eventually the product or the seller would be able to get out of the red. But it so happens that sometimes it gets very difficult and very strenuous, especially for early stage brands, to keep up with that. The second reason why you shouldn't sell on Amazon is fierce competition. On an average, there are about 1,000 new sellers that onboard on Amazon. There are more than 3 million sellers just in the US itself, and the numbers just keep going. Every single category has, especially bigger categories, have a lot of sellers who are either selling similar products, especially with the low barrier to entry. A lot of overseas sellers from China and Philippines have come into the US marketplace, since they're able to procure the products at a very low cost. They're able to eat up some of the fees that Amazon is continuously rising and compete effectively even at a lower price. And the aspect of fierce competition will not go away, and it will just keep intensifying. And this competition, in my opinion, boils down to the fact that who is able to acquire the products at the lowest cogs, at the lowest cost, so that they're able to offer the lowest price, and hence they're able to capture the traffic that comes along the way. And that competition kind of feels like a race to the bottom in a lot of situations. The third reason is lack of control. Amazon, again, byproduct of being a monopoly, they have a tremendous amount of control in what you can say, what words you can use, what images you can use, in a way how you can price. And it has tremendous amount of control over that. And hence, if for any reason Amazon deems that your product is violating some rule that they have all the autonomy in the world to take down your listing without a moment's notice. They have all the power to do that, and it has often caused a lot of disruption in the sales of sellers. It has caused a lot of confusion, and even if Amazon reinstates certain products, it does not have the same momentum that it has earlier. So that lack of control can be painful, can be devastating, in fact, to a lot of sellers. It also happens that in certain categories, Amazon launches their own brand, either through Amazon Basics or Happy Belly or any of these other brands that they have. Because they have all this data, they know what product to sell at what price point. They are also able to make no dislevel the playing field, so as to say they're able to put their products at a very high ranking even if they don't have sales history or reviews to back that up. And so this kind of puts the sellers in a situation where they have created or nurtured a particular product in a product category, but Amazon comes in and just dethrones them or kicks them back in a sales rank, which negatively affects them. And there's very little that they can do about it. I think there are a couple of lawsuits going on for Amazon for this, let's call it unethical trade practice, but I don't think it's going away anytime soon. The fourth reason is payment delays and payment complexities, where Amazon gives out payments every 14 days. And the way that it gives out payments can get confusing, where they do not disburse the exact amount of sales minus the cost. They actually keep some amount as account balance, which they may or may not choose to disperse it at a later date. And so even if there have been situations where customers have amazing sales for a particular week of 2 weeks, but then the money that they get is in the negative. That means they have to pay Amazon for whatever expenses have been incurred. So it could get really confusing in terms of accounting, in terms of understanding really how Amazon is performing, because your analysis of sales and costs may not line up with the payments that you receive, and it is a big issue for a lot of the sellers. The final aspect of it is complexity. Amazon is always innovating. They're changing the rules. They are changing the way in which things are done. They're changing their fee structure. They're changing all different aspects of it. And so the sellers have to keep up with all these changes in the hopes that whatever they do will help them continue increasing the momentum. And with the fear that if they don't keep up with the changes, they may lose their momentum and most likely their livelihood as well. And so the complexity requires a huge amount of expertise, a huge amount of time devoted towards researching and keeping up with Amazon's changes. So these are the 5 reasons why I think you should not sell on Amazon. But I may preface it by saying that Amazon, in my opinion, is perhaps the best platforms for brands to grow, get customer feedback, get valuable data, and get that initial momentum that will determine the success or failure of a brand.